The message arrived just after noon. I was sitting in my car outside the airport, my return ticket still tucked in my pocket. Having lunch with Jason. Just grab an Uber. It read, capped with a small heart emoji. Jason. The name hit like a fist to the gut. Melissa, my wife, had brought him up once or twice before. A co-worker, she said. Funny guy. Made everyone laugh in the office. I hadn't thought much of it. Not until now. The problem was, Melissa wasn't supposed to know I was home. I'd flown out on a last-minute trip to Chicago, scheduled to return late the next evening. But meetings wrapped up ahead of time, and instead of calling her, I thought I'd surprise her. I pictured walking in with her favorite Thai takeout, watching her whole face light up the way it used to. That text demolished every part of the plan. Why was she spending her lunch with Jason instead of me? Why brush me off with a casual, just get an Uber? Like I wasn't worth her time. My grip on the phone tightened. Fury tangled with the sick weight of dread. I didn't reply. Instead, I followed the trail she had let slip. I drove toward the line of cafes where she often spent her breaks, circling block after block, my chest pounding. And then I spotted her. Melissa, seated by the window of a chic little bistro I didn't recognize. She was laughing, the sound spilling into the street through the glass. But that laughter didn't belong to me anymore. Jason was there, leaned too close, his hand resting just inches from hers. The way she gazed at him, the sparkle in her eyes, it was a look she once saved for me when we first fell in love. My chest ached, a cruel reminder of the affection that had been missing for months, maybe years. I parked, sat in silence, torn between storming inside and laying bare the betrayal, or waiting, watching as the truth unraveled itself. My whole world teetered on the edge of a blade. Melissa had no idea I was back in town, but she was about to. I steadied myself, even as nausea twisted through me. Crossing the street, I pushed open the cafe door. The bell above chimed softly, but they didn't notice. They were lost in their own little orbit, laughing, whispering, leaning closer than co-workers ever should. I walked directly to their table. Melissa's face blanched the instant her eyes met mine. Her fork slipped, clattering onto her plate. Jason froze, too, his grin stiffening into something guilty. John, Melissa stammered, her eyes wide. What are you doing here? I thought you weren't back until tomorrow. I pulled out the empty chair and sat down, my voice even. Meetings finished early. Thought I'd surprise my wife. Funny thing, I was the one surprised, thanks to your text. Jason cleared his throat, fumbling. Hey, man, this is what it looks like. We were just... I cut him off with a stare sharp enough to slice. Save it. I don't need excuses from the guy spending my wife's lunch break like this. Melissa's hands trembled as she grabbed her glass. John, it's not what you think. Jason and I were just friends. He's been helping me with work projects. Friends. I echoed, leaning in. Friends don't look at each other like that. Friends don't tell their husband to call an Uber while they're out with someone else. Her face flushed crimson. She opened her mouth, but no words came. The lie withered before it could leave her lips. The silence pressed down heavier than anything I'd ever felt. For the first time in years, guilt carved itself plainly into her features. Jason shifted, muttered something about heading back to the office, and slipped out, leaving us alone in the wreckage. I held her gaze, waiting for the apology, for the truth, for anything real. At last she sighed, shoulders collapsing. It's not serious, John. It's just lunch. I needed someone to talk to. You've been so busy, so far away. Jason was just... Don't, I said, holding up my hand. Don't push this on me. If you needed someone, you had me. You chose him instead. Tears welled in her eyes, but all I felt was a cold hollowness. 16 years. 16 years of loyalty, patience, sacrifice. And here she was, gambling it on a lunchtime thrill. She reached across the table, fingers trembling, as if touch could undo the damage. John, please. It's not what it looks like. I love you. Jason doesn't matter. He's just a distraction. I never thought you'd find out. Her words cut deeper than silence. A distraction? That's all it was to her. I leaned back slowly. A distraction? That's what our marriage has become. Something you escape from with another man. Her tears streamed freely now. She tried to justify, to explain, to paint herself as lonely and neglected. Every word only dug the pit in my chest wider. I thought of the extra hours I'd worked to give her the life she asked for, the trips I'd planned, the patience I'd shown as she grew distant. None of it mattered. To her, I had become invisible. I stood. Melissa clutched my wrist, desperate. "Don't go, John. Please. I'll end things with Jason. I'll do whatever it takes. We can fix this." For a heartbeat, I faltered. 16 years of marriage doesn't vanish in a blink. But then I remembered her eyes as she laughed with him. That light I hadn't seen in years. The same light she once gave only to me. She had handed it to someone else. And no promise could erase that. I pulled my wrist free, my voice final. "Melissa, you already chose. Now it's my turn." Her sobs followed me out, but I didn't look back. The afternoon sun hit me hard, almost cruel in its brightness. But through the pain came something sharper, clarity. When I reached home, I began packing. No rage, no haste, just deliberate calm. Our life together was over. She had gambled away for Jason, and I refused to play the fool. The next morning, she woke to an empty house and divorce papers on the counter. My note was brief, only 2 lines. "You told me to call an Uber. I'm taking your advice. Only this time, I'm not coming back."